some sleeping pills in your program of therapy. I could talk to some doctors that I knew and ask if they had ever had a case like this one. Mr. Jensen? Mr. Jensen? It's getting late. I'm afraid I'm going to have to. Mr. Jensen? Mr. Jensen, where did you...
Carol?
Carol?
Yes, Dr. Gillespie?
What happened to the patient?
In 2 miles, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 614 for Texas 130 toll north toward Austin.
I don't know anything about him, Mr. Jensen, Doctor.
The man who was in my office all afternoon. It's a good thing there were no other appointments. I hope you have his number. I wanted to schedule a series of sessions starting next week.
I'm really sorry, sir, but I don't show any appointments at all today. I was wondering how long you needed me. I have a date this evening, and...
Hold on. You need to tell me a man named Jensen didn't walk in here and ask to see me? Big guy, shirt with flowers on it?
Well, no, sir. I've been here the whole time. I thought you wanted me to stay and work on the files.
All right, Carol, that would be all. You can go now. I'll walk up.
Yes, sir. Good night, sir.
Try this analogy, Mr. Jensen. Supposing I were to go back in time and I got hit, say, by a taxi. Now it figures that if I went back in time and got killed, I couldn't be alive today.
In half a mile, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 614 for Texas 130 toll north toward Austin.
Welcome to Andy's place. What can I get you?
Rubbing on the rocks, please.
One brother coming up. There you go. You don't like?
No thanks, okay.
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 614.
Yes, I do, right here.
Oh, text that.
Continue for 87 miles.
So do you. Problem, mister?
No, it's just that picture there. Or in the frame on the wall.
Ah, yeah.
A group of men in uniform. All except one in a flowered shirt. Looks familiar.
Pete Jensen. He used to attend bar here a long time. You heard of him?
Jensen? No. I don't remember that name. He looked familiar, that's all. Where's he now?
Him? He's dead. He got killed before I was born in Pearl Harbor. Sure. 2 more of the same.
Once upon a time, there was a psychiatrist named and the patient whose name was Peter Jensen. You might want to make note of both names for the record, should you ever run across either one in the textbook. It is now Saturday, October 5th, at exactly 5:10 p.m. You might want to make note of that, too, if you're even remotely interested in a new theory about something we'll call, for want of a better term, the time element, at least as it is measured in the Twilight Zone.
More from the Twilight Zone after this.
You are about to enter another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land of imagination. Next stop, the Twilight Zone. Hi, this is Stacy Keach.
That wasn't one of the better ones. I do like the idea that they literally blend into the concept. But, you know, obviously he already died in Pearl Harbor once. Well, why does it make sense for the second time? But, not one of my favorite ones, but I like it. Let's see what the next one is.
Take a moment to tell you about our Twilight Zone website at twilightzoneradio.com. twilightzoneradio.com, you'll find the latest information on these Twilight Zone radio dramas, including behind-the-scenes photographs, plus the newest product releases, trivia contests, ways to contact us, other Twilight Zone-related info and merchandise, plus links to other fascinating websites. So make your next stop twilightzoneradio.com.
Visit twilightzoneradio.com to purchase these Twilight Zone radio dramas on cassette and CD, or call toll-free 1-866-989-ZONE. That's 1-866-989-9663.
Right, the edge of the nose really hurts. Oh, God,
Mr. Bemis.
Oh, hello, Cheryl.
How are you today?
Fine, just fine. You're on time, I see.
I was getting worried.
Where are you?
I thought you'd be here already.
Well, normally I would be before Mr. Carswell notices. Had a bit of a delay, though.
What happened?
Well, I decided to stop by the library on the way. A few books, to return. But they've changed the hours.
They have?
Yes.
Oh, that hurts.
Opening later, closing early. It's getting harder and harder to check out a book. Scarcely any time at all.
Well, don't they have a slot or something for returns?
Oh, they do. But what if you're interested, let's say, in scanning the morning paper without having to purchase a copy? Or a student trying to finish a last-minute assignment?
That's
And
not
those who
internet.
work during business hours, who won't be able to use the library now. The right to read is slipping away, and no one seems to care.
Here he comes. Get ready.
As ready as I'll ever be.
Morning, Mr. Carswell.
Morning, Miss Anderson. Bemis.
Good morning, sir.
Glad you decided to join us.
Better late than never, I always say.
7 minutes to go. Let's open the bank on time today, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Scrooge.
Yeah.
The boss in A Christmas Carol? Doesn't Mr. Carswell remind you the least bit of Ebenezer Scrooge?
Well, I don't think I've read it.
Really?
Who doesn't know
You should. All of Dickens' Christmas stories, as a matter of fact. They serve as a fine introduction to his novels. Nicholas Nickleby, Oliver Twist.
Time to open the front door, Mr. Bemis. They're lining up out front.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Thanks, Cheryl. You've been very helpful.
Have a nice day.
Marvelous. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Well,
Oh, hello, Mrs. Chesters. Nice to see you.
85. Holy shit, how you doing that? Whoa!
is this window open or not?
What? Oh, of course it is. Sorry.
I am not doing
I'd like to
85.
make a
Let me go ahead and get the
withdrawal.
slow lane.
Certainly. For how much?
Oh,
There's the
shit,
slip right in front of you.
85.
Can't you see?
Damn, Texas
Yes,
wanna go
I
fast.
see it now. Mrs. Chesters, have you ever read David Copperfield?
How's that?
Wonderful book. There's this poor little fellow whose father has passed on, and his mother has remarried a miserable man named Murdstone.
Look at
Believe that name. And Murdstone has this sister, Jane, and
Mr. Bemis, you shortchanged me again.
I did? Oh my.
You owe me
Wild
one
Life
more dollar.
Crossing.
There's only 24 here. I should have 25.
Quite right. I'm truly sorry, Mrs. Chesters. I thought there were 5 once. Here you are. Now then, there's another character in the book named Micawber, Mr. Micawber. He's always being taken off to debtor's prison.
You read too much.
Definitely,
Perhaps if you didn't, you wouldn't need to.
okay, this is definitely a route in Texas I am not taking yet. Take me off a little beaten trail. It's different though. Look how wide open it is. Holy shit. It's pretty. Give it that. It's kind of burnt though. Yeah, there's definitely cars behind me. Still think it's funny though. I'm doing 10 miles below the speed limit, and they're still being slower than me. Well, I think a lot of trucks though too, they have like speed regulators. Like I think there's some trucks that can only go up to like 65. And I think that's company law instead of past experience, not experience, but knowledge. Ow! Yes, I'm still picking hair out of my nose. What do you want to fight about it? Ow! Want to feel some pain with me? By the way, it's still just one nostril. I haven't but still have to I keep finding more. You hairy son of a bitch. Ow! Alright, put it back on.
Glasses.
There's a wonderful woman in it too, named Peggotty. She's David's nurse, and
This is a bank. If I wanted to know about books, I'd go to a library.
well, you see, the library's hardly open anymore, so I'm afraid you'd find that you would...
Mr. Bemis,
Yes, Mr. Carswell.
I wonder if I might see you in my office. Now,
Oh, yeah,
Bemis.
that's let's see.
time is the day after tomorrow. The place is anywhere, so long as it can accommodate a bank, a main street, and a library, along with a myopic little man with Coke bottle glasses named Henry Bemis. The gentleman in question has only one passion in life, and that is to read. Mr. Henry Bemis, conspired against by browbeaters and henpeckers, and by clocks whose hands waggle disapprovingly and always disallow the moments he'd prefer to spend on his favorite pastime. Today, however, Mr. Bemis will finally have his chance to read anything and everything, in a world much different from the one he knows now. A world without bank presidents, a world, for that matter, without anyone at all, located in a place